Really happy to introduce our first guest ever, live and in person. He played in the NHL for almost 2 decades. He's a world junior champ, an Olympic champ. He is a Panthers analyst and an NHL legend that I'm only ever going to refer to as Jovo Cop. Thank you so much for being here and joining us this early in the morning. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, doing well. Sun came up, nice, beautiful morning here in Florida. Getting ready for this one here tonight.
You mentioned how the sun came up in Florida today. This is something I needed to ask you because I think you're witnessing something for the first time, maybe in the world, that the sky is falling. I went on Panther social media just to see what was happening, and they're like, oh my God, what is happening with this organization? But you said the sun came up today. It's not as bad as it seems, is it?
Yeah, it's not, and I think when you look at where this team, actually both teams, if you really look at it, just at the standings, being 6 points out of a wild card spot, who would have thought, right? Um, but yeah, there's time left, and I think when you look how other than Tampa at 34 points, really kind of no one really running away from it. So what does that mean? And I guess in hockey terms is consistency, finding a way to maybe string 3 or 4 games together and get a little separation, get yourself back into that mix. But I'm not too concerned about the Panthers. Obviously, dealing with a lot of injuries, a lot of high end injuries. So it's been tough grind. They're working hard, just not getting the results they want right now.
When we talk about tough, you're one of my favorite to ever drop the mitts over and over again. So I have to bring up this moment that happened in the summer with Goodbranson and Jeff Merrick, who joined him for this great series. And he was talking about walking into the Panthers locker room for the first time as a rookie.
What goes through your mind as you look at these
Yeah.
like guys you've grown up watching too, right? Going
Yeah,
like,
for
I'm in
sure.
a room with
Yeah.
Jovo. I'm in a room with.
Oh, Eddie was my first deep partner. He was one of my favorite players growing up. I was like pinching myself sitting beside him. It was, yeah, I mean, never forget that feeling for sure. Yeah, it was quite the experience. I just remember being like, okay, my dad told me to just relax and enjoy this, like enjoy it as much as you can. But then you're a young kid, you're amped up, you want to succeed really quick. You want to make a staple, do something that, matters to the boys. And, you're just trying to prove it to them that you're worthy, I guess, to a certain extent.
Do you remember first goal? Do you remember first fight? Do you remember like what were the first that stood out for you?
Yeah, first fight was Steve Downey. And I remember telling my dad, I was like, listen, I'm playing with Eddie. I really want him to be on my side. I'm like, the first guy who pisses him off, I'm fighting him. I hope it's not someone bad. And I got lucky, and it was Steve Downey, so he was a little bit shorter than me.
Just
Oh, wow.
what what's it like in it? But for me, I've seen so many moments that people will send me or share me clips through your career. Is there a fight or a moment that people constantly are bringing up to you?
God, it's been not really. You know what? There's one with, the one that I fought Adam Deadmartian. It was just unfortunate because he was out for a few months after that, and just one of those punches that end up connecting, and obviously got concussed, and it was a tough one there. But listen, at the end of the day, I think you fight obviously for different reasons. The emotions get high in a game. You're protecting a teammate. By no means was I ever going into a fight, thinking, you know, to hurt someone. But I always fought, I'm either getting knocked out or knocking out. There was no in between. I wasn't a technical fighter. I would
No
swing
defense.
hard and no defense. It was just try to kind of outpower him early on, try to get the advantage that way. Um, yeah, but I mean, you see it kind of nowadays in the league. You see it not as much as we saw it before, but I still think that it's a big part of the game where you police it that way. Uh, but yeah, Goody was a great teammate, a young stud coming in. He still looks good, boy.
Yeah.
Still kind of trucking along in the league. I know he's been out here a little bit, but he's had a nice long career, and he was a treat to play along, especially, as an older player playing with these young guys. You see the excitement, kind of when on their faces playing the game that they grew up loving and having the opportunity to step in. He's had a wonderful career.
Jovo, I got to ask you, like, just from a player's perspective, how great is it playing hockey, professional hockey in South Florida?
Well, I tell you what, I'll speak for the guys now. I mean, you're back-to-back Cup champs, pretty good. I mean, these guys have definitely, have definitely taken over this town. It is a Florida Panther town, obviously. You know, you got the Heat and the Dolphins. Dolphins picked it up of late, but haven't really done much. Looking for that to change. And then, you know, obviously the Panthers, the Heat had obviously nice runs with all the players they had, but it's unbelievable. I mean, you ask the guys, especially now when you look at where the Panthers have their practice facility. They all live in the area. They're going to their e-bikes, their golf carts. They're close proximity to the practice rinks. The ownership has built them state-of-the-art facility, so they have everything there. And I don't know what's not to like. I mean, I tell you right now, obviously in the winter months, right? I mean, it's 75 degrees and beautiful out, and you're playing hockey, the game you love. Doesn't matter what day of the week the games are, they're sold out. So you have that support there. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm sure the guys, obviously you hear around the talk now. It's like kind of that destination spot where players want to play because you know the commitment's going to be there from ownership to be a top team each year.
Yeah, and I think about it too from your career. Like you played in obviously Vancouver, you were those West Coast Express teams, and you guys had great teams, but had some trouble getting over that hump in the playoffs. I wonder if you can relate to maybe what the Leafs have gone through here, where they've had such great teams, but you know they're just that elusive playoff victory, that big game victory in the playoffs has eluded them. Can you relate to what the Leafs have gone through a little bit?
Yeah, I guess as a player, like you said, in Van, we had great teams. I mean, we'd score 4, 5, 6 goals a game. Just sometimes in the big moments, we just couldn't get it done. So, I mean, you look at what's going on in Toronto. It's tough because Toronto, even more so than Vancouver, is obviously that market where everything's scrutinized and they're just looking to, find something to discuss about the team rather than, I don't know, maybe backing off a little bit and let the guys kind of go and play and see where it rolls. But, I think the guys try their hardest each and every night no one's trying to lose hockey games, but you understand that it is a business and you want results, especially in that market. So you feel for players in that sense that I know they want to do good. I know it's been a long time in Toronto where you had that playoff success. And I tell you what, man, last year, up 2 games to 0 versus us here, and then up in that game 3. You almost see where that could have went. Obviously, 3 games to lead, changes to 2-1. Now the momentum slips on Florida side, and they kind of roll with it. So,
Yeah, I kind of wonder from that perspective,
tough.
Jovo. Like, you mentioned how they went up in the series. They have that lead in Game 3. Of all the teams that played the Panthers in the postseason last year, the Leafs are the only ones that took them to Game 7. Now we know how Game 7 went, right? It was just a runaway win for Florida. But what did you see in that game? Like, what made the difference for Florida in that game? And is it just a sort of belief that the Leafs maybe didn't really have?
Yeah, I think the Panthers are a well-oiled machine. I think having been there before and fought through these series, I think being well versed in that category where they just got to go out there and play. I mean, they're not a team that kind of just relies on 2 lines to get it done. I mean, it's throughout 4 lines, 6 defensemen that are rolling throughout a hockey game, and I think just being calm under pressure at the right moments. Not squeezing the stick when you have an opportunity to score, where that goal, that shot could be the difference in a hockey game. And obviously, Bobrovsky being the goaltender he is, that's a big difference as well. But it comes down to one game, right? At that moment, and I think when you have a team that's kind of been through that playoff drive and won it before, I think it gives you a little bit of a step up, kind of in that sense that you can get the job done here again. And you look at that moment. I mean, the momentum was obviously kind of moving towards the Panther side. So it was an unbelievable game, and you can see right from the start to finish what a clinic the Panthers put on in that game.
I don't want to think about it. So Cabby, switch it.
And I'm okay. I'll totally
I was wondering,
switch
Cabby,
topics.
if that was just a picture of you in there. I didn't know if you were real, if you were going to try it.
I'm here.
Good to see you, my man.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. I'm going to see Dave Chappelle tonight. And Dave Chappelle is on my personal stand-up comedy Mount Rushmore. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of stand-up comedians?
Do you have an answer?
Oh God, he's up there. Chappelle's up there. Maniscalco.
Yeah. Okay. All right. He's great.
You know what? But as far as like comedians, I'm not. I've seen Maniscalco a few times. I've seen Chappelle, but other than that, I haven't seen. Is this big guy coming out? This Nate Bargatze guy? Is that a comedian?
Excellent. Yeah. He's excellent,
So another guy.
bro.
I've been seeing him a lot on the tube lately as well. But I would say those three. I'm not a huge stand-up.
Okay, I'm gonna throw some names at you real quick. Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais. I mean, we can go to the classics: Pryor and Richard Carlin. Any of those?
Yeah, I know
names?
them all.
Tom Segura.
Yeah, and they're all
No, Mount Rushmore,
great.
Segura, great,
No.
but not Mount Rushmore.
the Tom Brady roast lady.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Nikki.
What was her
She's
name?
filthy.
Nikki
Yeah, Nikki
Glaser,
Glaser.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Nikki Glaser.
Unreal.
She's incredible.
Yeah, she's good. So you throw her in there too. Yeah, she's good.
Okay. So I'll go from comedy Mount Rushmore to hockey Mount Rushmore. I need to know an exact dollar figure here. How much money do you estimate you won off of Skins games versus Wayne Gretzky when he was your coach in Arizona? I need the dollar figure, bro. And listen, we're past the statute of limitations, so feel free to let us know whether it was 80 grand or 8,000.
I don't think it was either of those, but I know after the season in Phoenix, I would go to LA and I would actually stayed with Wayne a couple times and we'd play Sherwood with him. But I don't know what I know there was definitely some betting going on. Whether I collected money or he collected money, I don't remember. It's been a while.
Okay. Pavel Bure was the player who got me excited about hockey when I was younger. And former goaltender Sean Burke told me this recently. He said that he said every time he either played against Pavel Bure or he was a teammate of Pavel Bure, he scored a goal. Like, this dude was just electric. Now, in your day, what was some of the gamesmanship or like some of the methods that you used to slow down or affect the game for these three players who were just lights out scorers? Teemu, Jaromir Jagr, Pavel Bure. How did you try to slow them down or make them uncomfortable?
Yeah, you did
Elbows.
it. That's the problem.
Elbows.
You did it.
I think what happens especially with a guy like Pav, how you would defend him is if you have the right gap, that's where obviously you're defending well, where you're close in proximity to him, you're not let him wind up, and then after that it's an oh boy moment. But I think what I would do is just give him to the outside. I mean, at that point, you laxed on the gap a little bit because as much as Pav was crazy fast, he can go side to side and make you look like bad, just like a guy like Pavel Datsyuk would. So I guess cheat defensively would be the way that you kind of look at him. A guy like Jagr he wanted you to, like, for example, in the corner, he wanted to feel you on him. Right when you were kind of going to hit him, he would spin off you. He was so deadly off the boards that he was so tough to defend. As far as like one-on-one defending Jagr on a one-on-one, he was a big guy. I felt there's a little bit more room there to defend, but certainly along the boards, he's probably one of the toughest guys that I had to defend off the boards. And how you would do that, you would just kind of get your stick in there. Don't get too excited about getting too far in on him because he was so elusive that way that you had to be careful. And Teemu, I guess in all these top players, you try to you limit their time and space. And I know it sounds cliche, and you hear it a lot now. How guys defend and what's important on game planning. It's gap control. I mean, if you have your gap on these guys, they're very tough to create offensively. But what makes these guys so good is they're so good in the offensive zone as far as finding that little soft area where they can get into where, as a defender, you're like, are you going or am I going? It's kind of right in the middle area, and that's what made him so good. And that's what you see in a guy like Sam Reinhart as well. He's so good like that, finding that area, can score from anywhere. But I guess at the end of the day, if you have an opportunity to give him a pop, you got to let him know it's going to be a long night. So, but also on the other side,
The cross checks.
Right. On the other side of that, you don't want to look like an idiot, because the more aggressive you get with these guys, they can go side to side pretty good.
Last question for you, and we don't mind looking like idiots for the record. Is this a hot take or an accurate take? Okay. Mario Lemieux was the best pure talent in hockey ever, and Wayne had the greatest resume, or Wayne had the most complete game. Is that a hot take or an accurate take?
God, I think it's pretty accurate, guys. I mean, you watch Mario. Yeah, the skill level on Mario, the shit that he did, man, it was crazy. Obviously, Wayne on the records obviously speak for themselves, but I don't think I'm alone on that. And I love Wayne, and I got a great relationship with Wayne, so I probably tell me to F off when he sees me over this. But I don't think it's the first time you've heard this, that pure talent, what he does with the puck. Mario was on an island by himself. The way Wayne saw the game visually, eyes on the back of his head type of player, you can gravitate towards Wayne on that. But as far as that skill wise, pretty deadly what Mario did.
Last thing, I did not hear that from like one of my friends. I actually heard it from someone who played in the league. So that's why I wanted to verify it with you. And you've said that you've heard this other play. It's not the first time you've heard it too. So, okay,
it's not, take. No.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know if you know this. This is a big month for you. It's been a decade since you officially announced that you retired from playing professionally. Obviously, you don't know what retirement is because you went right back to working and doing other things. But I don't know how you're celebrating. Are you going down to Miami Beach? What are we doing? But mostly what I'm curious about is when you do announce your retirement, for a lot of people, you have to go hand in your security card and everything. What was the process of that, and how excited are you to be living life and not having to get up early to do those morning skates and constantly have ice on you, although you may still have to because you played for many years.
Right. You know what, it's funny you asked that, because I don't think there was, you see a lot of players now, they write a thanking everyone, and you send it to the union, and then they put it out there. I don't think I did that. I think I just kind of at that point was kind of disgusted how I was done playing, because I still wanted to play. I had this hip injury that I still wanted to play. I just kind of walked away. I'm not sure there was anything that, obviously my family knew that I was done. And I think in all ways, shapes, forms, whatever, I think that's the most important part, that you have that conversation with your family, and it's time to kind of move on. But yeah, I didn't realize it's 10 years. It's been a while, and I can tell you this though, I do get up earlier now than when I did play, and as long as the body does feel better. I have two fake hips now, which has changed my life tremendously, just from the fact that I can do things that I enjoy doing still. Once I was done playing, I had that. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was this hip resurfacing surgery that you're hearing a lot around the league. I was actually the first player to do it in the National Hockey League, and when I was rehabbing, I'm like, man, I think I can play, because I went into this surgery. I was 17 or 18 years playing, and I'm like, okay, I've had enough. This is a career ender. The doctor who performed that surgery, Dr. Sue at HSS in New York, I called him. I said, listen, I feel good. Is there any way I can skate? He's like, yeah, go ahead. He goes, your hip socket's probably stronger than it was before. Anyway, that leads into the next thing. And I had the surgery in April. I actually played in January. So I came back and I played. And then my other side, after retiring, my other side went and I had that side done. And yeah, the body's feeling good and enjoying retirement, enjoying the kids. My youngest now are freshmen in college. My two older ones are in the work world, off the payroll. And
That's the goal. That's the goal. Get them off the payroll, out the door and off the payroll.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of following through them now.
Last one for you here, Jovo. And, we got the Olympics announcement coming up soon. We're going to see who's ultimately here on Team Canada before they head to Milan for this year. You were on that O2 squad. How cool was it getting together and being the first team to win Hockey Canada gold on the men's side in, 50 years at the time? How cool was that whole experience for you? And what are these guys stepping into when they get to Milan in February?
Well, it's unbelievable. What an honor. I mean, Gretz was obviously running that team, him, Steve Tambellini, who was our assistant GM at the time in Vancouver. Just an unbelievable moment. I think just the whole experience of being picked, the pressure of the start of the season, being on that list, attending orientation camp, trying to have a great start to the season to kind of stay in that mix. And then ultimately being named to the team and heading over there, obviously is in Salt Lake. So it wasn't, you're not going overseas and doing that whole thing, but just 50 years to I want to say, I've heard 50 years to the hour that it was crazy how close it was to winning, but just the whole experience, the whole Olympic Village, bunking with guys, staying in the whole, the dorm with all the other athletes, going to McDonald's in the village, having ice cream and doing all that kind of fun stuff. It is really remarkable how, when you walk around that village, just seeing, all the different athletes, what they're doing. I mean, with their skis, they're working on their equipment that are, outside, and obviously the pressure of winning for, Canada and the US obviously is going to have a great team this year as well. But it's something you cherish forever, man. I think I didn't win a Stanley Cup, and I think this obviously is the next best thing. Winning Olympic gold was a pretty special honor.
Well, Jovo Cop, we appreciate your time and winning gold for Canada, not only as a World Juniors member, but with the Olympics. Thank you for starting off your December by talking to us, three bozos. We hope you come back and we haven't scared you too much, buddy.
Great to see you.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jovo.
Thank you.
Awesome.